Hey, Yankee fans, Yanks in action tonight, 8 o'clock, taking on the White Sox. They took it on the chin last night with the return of A-Rod, but they'll be back in action tonight, 8 o'clock, right here on your exclusive broadcast home of Yankee Baseball, WBBZ TV. Hey, real quick, Jim, this baseball scandal, the whole issue of enhancement drugs in professional sports, your take on it?
Kids tell I was on them. What amazes me is every player knows you're going to be tested. It's like, how stupid are you to do them when you know you're going to get caught? These guys are, I look at A-Rod like, okay, you have $275 million, 50 whatever million contract, and you go and do something that is illegal, number one. Number two is, it's illegal in baseball. Number three is, you're going to get caught.
Right.
These guys got to be the most stupidest players I've ever seen. Come on, man. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that, it stays in your system for a long time, and you're going to get caught, and I just can't believe it.
Buffalo Bills, they had their first scrimmage Monday night against themselves, which is a little unusual to scrimmage yourselves with the pads. I don't know, did you guys do that much? You did more hitting, I think, than they do now.
We did because we had 2 days back then. You're not allowed to have 2 days in pads now. So, but you have to do some type of scrimmage because more so, I think, for the defense to learn how to tackle, to bring guys down instead of your typical, you just lock up and hit and then let go. We know what that was like in Super Bowl 25. We've all hit, but we forgot to put them on the ground. And I don't want to go back there. But, you have to have some of that. You just pray that through the course of those times of training camp that nobody gets hurt. And we've seen a lot this year in other teams, even though Stevie Johnson with the hamstring, that scares me because receivers, hamstring, that doesn't bode very well.
It's been chronic with him, too.
Yeah, and it reminds me of Don Beebe.
Yeah.
I remember Beebe always had problems with his hamstring. I kept saying every week, praying that, come on, Don, don't pull it this week. Don't pull it this week. So, it's one where you as a coach, you have to do it, but you hope you come out of it clean and don't have to worry about any major injuries.
Everybody I talked to that was at mini camp and saw E.J. Manuel and Kevin Cobb all basically said they thought Cobb would be the starter come September. He was farther ahead. Obviously, E.J.'s a rookie. But now, after 1 week of training camp, the roles have been reversed. Cobb twisted his knee, I guess, on a mat the other day. But still, Manuel has looked better in camp. Surprised?
Maybe a little bit. It's early yet. We'll have to wait for preseason games to come. I was never the best practice quarterback either. I thought that, when you came to game time, it's when you got excited. The juices started to flow and things started really opening up for me. I think with Kevin, if he goes out and plays his style, and even though it is a new offense for both of them, so they're both on an even keel there. So I don't know. Why they drafted E.J. Manuel is for the future. And he brought Kevin Cobb, and he's still a young guy too. It's a battle. But I'd rather see a veteran and a guy you brought in for long term battle it out. It wouldn't be bad if I saw Kevin Cobb, and I wouldn't be, a bit surprised, number one, or even discouraged if I saw that, because EJ could come and start learning, because even though he did play major college in Florida State, I think that's a big plus. It's still not the NFL. So, but the athletic ability that guy has, he's a specimen. Guy could run. He's got a rocket for an arm. He's very smart, well-spoken. Just one of those guys that you hope thrives and comes out on top, because we don't need to say we haven't had a quarterback since probably when Flutie and even Bledsoe was here. So even dating back to when I played. So we as fans, we as former players want to see this turnaround, but we're not turning anything around until that job with the guy under the center is justified by putting somebody in there that will be the future of the Buffalo Bills.
You played with and practiced with Bruce Smith. And those of us who can remember there was a lot of training camps where Bruce, for whatever reason, was unable to practice until it became time to really play. And those, once you were around for a couple of years, you realized there was a bit of a routine to that. What's your take on what happened last week with Mario Williams and the mysterious foot ailment? And he left camp, and you've been around that.
That doesn't bother me one bit. As long as he's healthy, training camp's one thing. You want to be able to get in good physical condition. I don't know Mario that well, but from what I understand, he's a workout freak. He loves to lift, and he loves to get in shape. From that standpoint, I don't worry about that right away. I think the media is going to keep pounding that until they get the answer they want. If it's not the answer they want, they'll keep asking until he really ticks everybody off. It just seems that boy, that sounds familiar, doesn't it, Bob?
That damn media.
I remember that Kaczynski guy back a few years back.
Yeah,
Did I really say that?
1986, I wasn't on your Christmas card list, was I?
86, 87, 88, 2010, 2000.
Wow, somewhere, maybe this year I got on. The media's got to ask the question. And I think
but over and over and over again.
But, you guys went through that. In 89, remember the, quote, bickering Bills. I think you guys all suddenly realized, and Marv realized, it was, kind of circle the wagons and everybody had the same answer, and suddenly all the controversy went away. It's when you don't have an answer that I think it becomes chronic, that they keep asking the question.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think more than anything is the head coach should know pretty much everything that's going on. That's the only thing that surprised me a little bit. But with Mario, the practice part, for me, I really didn't care. I mean, I remember when our offensive lineman used to get mad because Adam Lingner wasn't practicing. He was an offensive lineman, but he was our long snapper for punts and field goals. And I said, guys, quit worrying about Adam. You'll be mad if he hurts his arm or finger, and all of a sudden we come in a game and you have a backup snapper, and he snaps over the punter's head, or he has a bad snap on a field goal that we needed. He's there for a reason. He's there to make sure that he gets that snap back to the holder during field goals and to the punter. Don't worry about that, because I think you as an athlete want to see somebody in the same position work out as hard as you do. To a certain point, I agree with that. But again, I worry about my position. I don't worry about everybody else. And when you start worrying about everybody else, then it takes away your focus on what you should be doing.
Hey, we'll take another break. More with Jim Kelly when we come back.